So the carnivore, the Liver King, gets exposed for being a steroid user after many years of claiming that the carnivore diet made him that big. Many of the carnivore community have rushed to defend him, so let's see what they had to say. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
So on the 20th of June 2022, I made a video titled What the Liver King Eats in a Day, and in the first minute or so of that video, I said this. So right from the outset, I'm going to say what you're all thinking, in that there is no way that this guy is naturally that big. Joe Rogan and many others have called him out for steroid use, but for some reason Liver King still denies this. Whatever he is taking though, I bet my house on the fact that this guy never got this big from diets alone. So let's see what the flip-flop carnivore diet doctor, Paul Saladino, has to say on the Liver King situation.
So I wanted to post a story today with a little more context for the Liver King situation. I posted a reel with my thoughts. I've known Brian for 5 years, long before his social media presence began. He's a good human at his core, and I'm incredibly disappointed by the steroid revelations, which appear to be true. I think integrity is everything. The most common question that I'm getting asked now is, didn't you know, Paul, about the steroid use? The answer is no.
So let me get this right. A self-proclaimed health expert didn't know a guy who was this big was taking steroids. Go figure.
I had my concerns about it. I had my doubts that he was free of PEDs like so many of you.
Let us get that right. Paul only had doubts that the Incredible Hulk was a steroid user.
But on multiple occasions when I challenged him with this, I was told that the answer is no.
So if an alcoholic who couldn't stand up straight in front of Paul said they were sober and all that,
that he was not on any performance-enhancing drugs. Brian and I are both adult humans. We live thousands of miles apart from each other, but I had no knowledge of his PED use, though I did have my concerns, as I said. I will take full responsibility for my lack of ability to challenge him with those concerns sooner.
And I would take full responsibility to say that Paul Saladino has not got a clue what he's talking about where health is concerned, and should stop making videos giving health advice with immediate effect.
When he began getting traction on social media, I should have brought my concerns about the truthfulness, the veracity of his statements, of his claims that he was not using PEDs to him sooner. And like I said, I will take full responsibility for that.
You didn't, Paul, because you and all of the other carnivore cronies are more concerned about views and clout as opposed to doing what is right.
That was my mistake, but I did not know about that. And I think that it is good that we now know what appears to be the reality. I fear for his health long term. I have concerns for his family, and I hope that he will use this as an opportunity to move forward in a positive way, to get off all of these drugs, which are clearly not good for him, and to live his life in a truly ancestrally consistent way.
So the Liver King said in his video that for a long time he never felt great on the carnivore diet, and that he resorted to steroid use to correct some of these problems. And there was me thinking that the carnivore diet fixes everything.
The interesting thing about Brian is that he does live his ancestral tenets. I've seen that firsthand. He's true about that, but he made a big mistake not being truthful about the PED use, and I hope this will be his opportunity to do a hard thing, to be truthful with his audience, many of whom have found benefits, many of whom, like myself, feel misled. But I hope that his health will improve as he gets off these substances, which he doesn't need to be a good human and don't really contribute to his message in any way, shape, or form.
This is one thing I agree with Paul on. I wish nobody any harm, and I hope the Liver King realises that steroid use and ridiculous carnivore diets will do him no good over the longer term.
I care about him as a human, and I look forward to direct conversations with him, and I think this will be a good moment for him long term in his life, and he will be healthier and around for his kids longer term. So hopefully that answers your questions, guys. Again, I take full responsibility for not challenging him with my concerns sooner. I should have done that, but I had no knowledge of his use of PEDs. I was misled, but I did make mistakes as well.
So that's what Paul Saladino said. What about newbie carnivore nutjob, Carnivore Camaraderie?
Alright, so this video is going to be on the Liver King. As most of you probably know, he recently has been shown to be not natural. He was exposed in a video by More Plates, More Dates. And this has been very controversial as far as how we should go about looking at Liver King since he's been exposed. Personally, I've been a fan of him all along. I think he's great for humanity, right?
I mean, what do you even say about guff like this?
He's promoting a primal message. But in this video where he gives his confession, I'm just going to react to it and talk about Liver King a little bit.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and
I believe him. I believe that he was really, really rich before social media and that his businesses were doing very well. In which case, the fact that he actually went public about this whole Liver King thing and became famous is pretty admirable, because being famous is not that good. If you're rich and you're anonymous, that's way better than being rich and famous.
So there is no evidence that he was rich before. The dude was making millions of dollars every year by selling supplements and by telling people that the carnivore diet made him that big.
He can't go anywhere now. He can't go anywhere without being recognized. I mean, his life is probably worse now than it was before, but at least he's helping people. I think it's really commendable, and it's really selfless what he did. He's helping millions of people with this message that he's spreading.
Time's up, Carnivore Camaraderie. Nobody needs to listen to this waffle coming out of your mouth. Did the Liver King murder someone? Well, no. Do we want him to be healthy? Yes. But defending his lies in this situation is laughable. Anyway, on to Shawn Baker.
Okay, new news about a guy named the Liver King. Apparently, many of you guys know who he is. Apparently has been revealed to have been using steroids and other stuff. I don't think that's very surprising to most of us.
Just as it's no surprise to most of us, Shawn, that if you continue with the diet that you're on, you will likely run into significant health problems. Unfortunately for many in the carnivore community, they can't see what is right in front of them.
Anyway, this is something that, I've said from all along, as far as there are, unfortunately, some people within the carnivore space who, push supplements, unnecessary supplements in my view, and I've said this over and over again.
I agree that no healthy diet requires supplementation because it meets all of a person's nutritional requirements. Unfortunately, Shawn, eating only steaks and salt doesn't meet people's nutritional needs, which is why all of these people are out there selling supplements.
Organ meat supplements and things like that, overpriced. And this guy, Liver King or Brian Johnson, has been the face of one of them. There's others very similar that basically push the same thing and make a lot of money off this. And I think this is very unfortunate, because what would otherwise be I think generally good messaging, stop eating junk food, get out in the sun, exercise, work out, eat whole foods, is unfortunately tainted by this stuff. And it really is a shame.
If there are other people doing this, Shawn, then call them out.
Like I said, it's these people, they have these big social media followers and they have this huge reach, and they impact some people positively, but then they profit on that. And again, I don't mean profit. I don't mean it's bad to make people healthier and to be rewarded for that.
Let's see if people on the carnivore diets are healthy longer term, and not just for 12 or 18 months.
But I think to, take advantage of these people by selling them things they don't need, that don't actually provide that efficacy. The advice in general, work out, eat a clean, healthy diet, eat more meat, is good.
According to only Shawn and a few other nut jobs, no reputable health professional would advocate a carnivore diet. Apart from people like Paul Saladino, who couldn't tell someone like the Liver King was on steroids.
But then when you start saying, well, I'm going to make money on you by selling you these supplements, which I think are largely overpriced, overhyped, and likely to be of very minimal value, quite honestly. That's been my opinion of this all along. So it's sad to see that. You know, it's somebody saying, did it shock you that Liver King was on steroids? No, of course not. You know, again, and I can kind of see it. I mean, I am someone that still, even to this day, get accused of taking drugs myself. Now, I will, and I've said, I've offered this many, many times. If somebody wants to pay for testing, I'm happy to do that.
This is what a 56-year-old man looks like who is natural, apparently. I will just leave that here.
In general, again, I think there's good messaging. There's some good messaging these people do with what they say. But again, this really taints it. It's unfortunate. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't think any of you guys are surprised by that revelation. But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. We'll talk to you later.
I'll tell you what we think, Shawn. I think that you've created a movement that claim to be a miracle diet, and that is anything but. And we are seeing more and more people quit the carnivore diet after realizing how stupid and unsafe it is. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.